Did you see Donald Trump up in the Bronx the other day? What was that, 4 weeks ago? Remember, Drew, I was over in Ireland. And it was amazing. He packed in thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And he had all these rappers. What's it called? Drew, there's like a specific kind of rap, right? Like some really, really special rap. It's like the super duper duper rap. And that's the kind of rap, if you would, that the artists that came to celebrate him. It's like for those that are really into rap. See, I don't even know the name of it. There you go. And I think Drew is forgetting too. Maybe you guys know, but it's this is hardcore. Okay, so they're up in the Bronx. They were a very diverse crowd of people. And then you compare and contrast that. I mean, AOC was so mad at the time. You compare and contrast it with what just went down with Jamaal Bowman. Oh my gosh. Bye-bye, squad. It's over, guys. It's over. You know what? One of many more just went down. They're all going down. AOC is next. Mark my words. Because this guy just went too far. I'm talking about the fire alarm guy, right? Remember he was out there with AOC over the weekend. They were making little cell phone videos, and then he went up on the stage and started acting like a maniac. We had to clean it up. We had to clean this clip. I was like, go over it again. Make sure there's no more F-bombs in there. We try and keep it clean, right? For the kids. Anyway, let's go to this one. This is terrible. Yeah, this is the one where he's up on stage. We edited out the F-bomb for you. Oh, Obama, you're doomed. You're doomed. Look at this crazy guy. What is that? I mean, does he think he's Britney Spears? I think he's been watching too many Britney videos on Instagram. Look at that.
Listen! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Oh my gosh. You know, guys, I was watching this over the weekend, and I was like, this is crazy. I mean, he looked like he was for goodness sakes. He's banging. I mean, it was kind of violent, right? Can you imagine if Donald Trump did that? Can you imagine? Oh, I don't know. What if Byron decided to do that? Byron Donalds. Can you see Byron Donalds, who's awesome, out of Naples, Florida, actually understands financial markets and how the Federal Reserve works better than some of the people in the administration right now accountable for the financial aspects of Joe Biden's policy. Anyway, can you imagine if he did that? Or Tim Scott? Or anybody else for that matter? I mean, can you imagine? Everybody would go crazy. But this guy, thank goodness he's toast. Everybody can celebrate that. That's like the one decent move. I don't give Hillary Clinton a lot of credit for anything, but she did come out and support his competitor in that primary. And his competitor just wiped him. Like, it was just like, it was a huge margin. And he was so desperate. He was clinging so hard. At the end, he even brought his little pal AOC in. AOC, girl, you are done. You never should have done this. You know what they say? Be careful. Be careful who you're seen with. Nobody's going to forget this. We get the scene of AOC. Drew, do we have the one where it's like all that music in the background? I think we got some of the music out. We may have to like bring down her audio, but I just want people to see this because she was dancing around wildly on stage. Look at that. Look at that. She's just like him. I mean, woo! This woman, if you are listening to the audio version of this podcast, thank you, first of all, for doing that. Everybody can go over to Spotify, you can go over to Apple, show us some love, give us 5 stars. But anyway, we're looking at some crazy video, crazy AOC. And I think she had a few F-bombs in there too. So, now she's taking her hair down, literally taking her hair down. And she looks angry and she looks mad and she's screaming and she's dancing. And we're all wondering, are you okay, lady? Are you okay? No, she's not okay, you see, because her buddy, Jamal, was about to get beaten badly, as he so deserves. This is the guy, by the way, who pulled the fire alarm. Remember? He literally pulled the fire alarm. And then there were some signs saying, don't pull the fire alarm. It really will go off. And he took the signs down and hit him. And it was all caught on tape. He should be in a heck of a lot of trouble. And instead, there he was running for Congress again. But you know what? He's done. He's done. And I do believe that this is the end of the squad. So AOC is in mourning. Wait till you see what she just tweeted out. I mean, she's just devastated. Her dear, dear friend, who she's going to get to, who really will she get to pull the fire alarms these days when they don't like the budget that they got to get through? She writes on Twitter, Jamaal Bowman, son of a single mother, grew up in public housing, dedicated his life to teaching, became a school principal. See, that's part of the problem. We have these people in academia. I'm not kidding. I mean, academia is frightening. Founded a prize school to serve Bronx youth. Elected as the first black congressman for NY16. Never took a dime in corporate money. A true public servant that when you need him is ready and willing and able to pull the fire alarm because God forbid we get that budget passed. Oh, good riddance, right? Good riddance. And that's what we want to be able to say to everyone. And so this is what is making poor President Obama so nervous. This is what's giving him the anxiety that his friends are talking about. This is why they're so worried. This is why he's got this whisper campaign going on with Biden. This is why they're having these little private lunches that nobody's allowed to know about or talk about. He's saying, you got to work these angles, man. He has to talk his talk, you see. And sometimes it works. I mean, think about that other lunch that they had that got so highly publicized. You know, word leaked out. They were having lunch together. And next thing you know, he goes down to one of the historically black colleges to celebrate their graduation and gives a thoroughly divisive speech. Because he's already been told by Barack Obama, you use this for everything it's worth. Winning is what matters. No interest in really bringing the country together. No interest in actually moving us ahead economically speaking. And this is indeed a very, very, very big problem. You know, if you're so focused on that and you don't focus on the stuff that matters, like inflation, like the border, like trying to have peace in the world, for goodness sakes. Imagine that. Maybe they don't really want it. I mean, hey, look at Lockheed Martin's stock price ever since 2014. Or Northrop Grumman, when we got ourselves into none other than Ukraine. We sent a CIA mission over there, and wow, I mean, NATO kept growing, and sure enough, those stock prices, this is money that had been left for dead. Rob and I have looked at this actually in depth, and this is, you know, you couldn't get anywhere on these stocks, and suddenly they've outpaced the S&P. They've outpaced the S&P 500. Think about that. That's kind of strange, don't you think? In that the S&P is filled with things like Microsoft, Apple, and NVIDIA. Like, you really think Northrop Grumman and Lockheed Martin should be valued and escalating in value more than those? Well, I guess they all knew something we didn't, which was that we were getting much further entrenched in these conflicts. And I'll tell you, Americans don't want it. I mean, maybe the elites want it. Maybe some companies want it, but Americans do not want it. And that's going to come back to bite him in the you-know-what. Listen, policy matters right now, guys. Really, really matters on the inflation front, on the border front, on the international front. It's why I want you to go check out AmericansForProsperity.com. AmericansForProsperity.com. My great friends over there that are working really, really hard to make sure that we have a better border, to make sure that we have a better economy, that we have a more peaceful future. I mean, this is our future. And it's getting increasingly scary. I was just reading Ray Dalio, who founded Bridgewater, massive hedge fund, actually went to my high school, not with me. He's a few years senior to me, but Ray Dalio, really, really bright guy. And I actually had no idea sort of the depth with which he could write. And it was a pretty fair and balanced piece. It was from his book. It came out in 2021. It's in Time magazine today. I just throw it out there because if you're interested in policy, you're interested in history, go to americansforprosperity.org and sign up for their stuff. Also take a look at Ray's piece at time.com, Time magazine, because it's about 34 pages. And I read through it last night. I printed it out this morning because I actually just want to sit down and really digest it. He tends to be more liberal than not, but in fairness to him, he was pretty fair about the landscape right now. And he was saying that, you know, you get a lot on the left, you get a lot on the right, sort of these extremes, and that's not a good recipe for the future. I mean, maybe for gold, right? He had a whole sort of plan. Like, what do you do? What do you do? Like, your side is not winning. What do you do? And what do you eventually do? And I think regardless of what side you're on, there's some interesting lessons in there. Speaking of gold, quick shout out to our great sponsor over at American Heart for Gold. American Heart for Gold, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really proud to partner with these guys because they really and truly have a phenomenal offer. And you know, I'm all about the offer. I want to make sure that I'm taking good care of you. You take good care of me. So check this out. Up to $15,000 worth of free silver for you if you enroll with them. 1-844-495-1115. You can also text Trish to 65532. 65532, guys. And it's well worth doing. I mean, listen, I think that gold is an important part of any diversification strategy. You can go check out Trish Loves Gold. You can't forget that. TrishLovesGold.com. They're at American Heart for Gold, and see what opportunities they have for you, because it just is one of the things that you need to be looking at right now. Most definitely, for sure.